Welcome to the Mystery and History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Two cousins of the British royal family with developmental challenges were kept away from the public for decades. The story surfaced years later, revealing secrets of the royal family. A Korean mother embraces her son, who escaped from a North Korean prisoner of war camp. The emotional reunion symbolizes the pain and separation caused by the Korean War. The 1937 Cadillac 516 Series 90 Hartmann Cabriolet impresses with its sleek and aerodynamic design. One of the most exclusive cars of its time, it combines luxury and power in an automotive masterpiece. The destruction in San Francisco after the 1906 earthquake. The quake and fires devastated the city, leaving thousands homeless. It was one of the most impactful disasters in the United States. A historic building, damaged during the Civil War, still bears the mark of a cannonball on one of its oak beams. The past left on the structure preserves the memory of the conflict. Two sisters run to embrace their father, returning from war in 1940. The touching image captures a family reunion after times of uncertainty and sacrifice. A mechanic repairs a Zaz 965 car on the road on October 13, 1981. Soviet vehicles were known for their durability, but often required improvised maintenance. The Apollo 1 crew relaxing during training in 1966. Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee prepared for a mission that would make history. Tragically, a ground test accident took their lives, leading to major advancements in spaceflight safety. Polish soldiers playing with the soldier bear Wojtek, raised on condensed milk. Fond of cigarettes and morning coffee, he was even promoted to corporal for assisting with ammunition transport during WAR's Battle of Monte Cassino. His story became legendary. Nikola Tesla in his Colorado Springs laboratory, 1899. The stunning electrical display reflects his pioneering experiments that revolutionized energy transmission. Dave Kunst walks around the world in 1970, 21 pairs of shoes and 14,500 miles. Determined to walk across the globe, he faced extreme challenges through diverse landscapes. His epic journey became a landmark in the history of walking expeditions. Uvays Akhtayev, a 7-foot 9-inch, 420-pound basketball player in the 1950s. His story of resilience began after deportation, finding a second chance through sports. A boy smiles as he receives a new pair of shoes at an orphanage in Austria in 1946. His joyful expression shows how small gestures could transform lives in the post-war era. Freddie Mercury, as a baby, is photographed in his mother's arms in 1947. Born in Zanzibar, he would become one of the greatest music icons with his unique voice and remarkable performances. A German soldier, a Soviet soldier, and a Finnish soldier talk about photography in Finland in 1941. The unusual scene captures a shared interest in the midst of wartime. The Kimberley Diamond Mine in South Africa, 1872. After the discovery of an 83-carat diamond, hundreds of fortune seekers flocked to the area, leading to over 800 land claims. Scottish racing driver Jackie Stewart, 3-time Formula One champion, wears a Nikon camera mounted on his helmet during the Monaco Grand Prix in 1966. The innovation captured a driver's perspective. The Panama Canal under construction in 1913. The monumental project would connect the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, revolutionizing global maritime trade and modern engineering. Crew members repair the Graf Zeppelin mid-air over the South Atlantic in 1934. The airship was damaged by a storm, requiring risky maintenance thousands of feet above the ground. A medieval punishment device made of metal and leather, With sharp prongs, it was used to restrict movement and inflict suffering, reflecting the brutal methods of the time. A mechanic repairs a Zaz 965 car on the road on October 13, 1981. Soviet vehicles were known for their durability, but often required improvised maintenance. The world's largest ancient mosaic was uncovered in Antakya, Turkey, during the construction of a hotel. Created in the late Roman period in the 4th century, the artwork reveals the era's grandeur. A couple showcases inflatable slimming shorts in the 1970s. The accessory claimed to reduce body measurements using compressed air, reflecting the era's fascination with unusual weight loss methods. The Great Flood of Paris in 1910 caused the Seine River to overflow, flooding streets and landmarks. Boats became the primary mode of transportation in the waterlogged city. Men gather in front of a shop in Harlem to listen to the radio in 1940. The device was the main source of news and entertainment, connecting communities through live broadcasts. A child couple poses in traditional wedding attire in Korea in 1910. The photo reflects the customs of the time, when arranged marriages were common and ceremonies followed detailed rituals. Air pirates. Alphonse and Charles Bugler crossed the Thames River in 1954, pushing a motorbike on a tightrope. The daring balancing act was successfully completed. A Japanese street vendor in the 1930s carrying an impressive load of goods. These merchants roamed the streets offering essential items for daily life. Red Hot Chili Peppers in 1989 during their rise to fame. With their irreverent style and fusion of musical genres, the band would become one of rock's biggest names. Bulgarian punk band New Flowers in the early 1980s. The punk movement spread worldwide, bringing its rebellious attitude even to socialist bloc countries. A car covered in snow in Chillicothe, Ohio, in 1940. The harsh winter turned vehicles and streets into frozen landscapes, captured through the lens of photographer Arthur Rothstein. Stephen King was so impressed with Kathy Bates's performance in this film that he wrote more roles for her. The lead character in Dolores Claiborne, 1995, was created with her in mind. Loggers haul a giant spruce log with a team of horses in the Cascade Mountains, Washington, in 1905. Timber extraction was essential for construction and regional growth. Lion and His Keeper by Norman Rockwell, published in the Saturday Evening Post in 1943. The iconic illustration captures a relaxed moment of an animal caretaker on a break. A Most Beautiful Legs contest took place in Paris, France in 1948. Participants posed smiling as judges assess posture and symmetry. The event drew a large audience. A Soviet family watches U.S. President Ronald Reagan's New Year's message on December 31, 1985. The speech symbolized a moment of dialogue during the Cold War. At a dairy school in Canada, students learned milking techniques in 1927. Using cow mannequins, they practiced manual milk extraction, an essential process in livestock farming at the time. The image illustrates teaching methods before mechanization. Children take part in a traditional Inuit game in Alaska, 1965. The game involves launching a person into the air using a stretched animal skin as a trampoline. Playing on a Hot Summer Day in Moscow, 1976. Children enjoy fountains and streets to cool off during the heat. The scene captures a spontaneous childhood moment in the Soviet Union amid the urban life of the time. In 1918, women delivered heavy blocks of ice, an essential service before refrigerators. Carrying large pieces, they ensured food preservation. The job required strength and endurance, highlighting the role of women in crucial services. Roy Wensley posing with the first humanoid robot, Herbert Televox, in 1927. Only known photograph of Grizzly Adams, the legendary California mountain man and bear trainer. Famous for wrestling bears, he became a mythical figure of the Old West. His bond with animals inspired stories and even film adaptations. A bodybuilder with a glove barbell. Before the bench press, this was the go-to exercise for chest training. Circa 1940. The practice has evolved, but it shows how weightlifting was already a foundation of physical fitness. A boy hugs an elephant's trunk at the London Zoo in 1958. The image captures the bond between humans and animals, a moment of innocence and friendship in the midst of an urban setting. A man poses holding a small donkey in his lap in the 1910s. The unusual image reflects affection for animals and a relaxed style that was not common in photographs at the time. A house stands at the foot of the Statue of Liberty in the United States. In 1930, the unusual proximity shows how the iconic monument was part of some residents' daily lives. A peasant family from Voronov experiences radio for the first time. The bearded man holds the rudimentary device while the woman wears headphones, listening intently. Beside her, a child watches curiously. Two friends pose on a 1947 Chevrolet and recreate the same photo 63 years later. The image reflects the strength of friendship and nostalgia for cherished moments preserved over time. A young woman poses in classic 1920s flapper attire. Women in this movement defied social norms, embracing a modern and independent style for their time. Nicknamed the happiest man in China, this 1901 portrait shows a Chinese man playfully posing for the camera. At the time, many did not see photography as a serious matter and posed spontaneously. A family poses with masks during the Spanish flu pandemic. In 1918, even the cat is protected. The scene illustrates the impact of the epidemic and the precautions taken at the time to prevent contagion. Father and son playfully pose during a photo session in the 1910s. The spontaneous moment captured at the time reveals joy and family bonding, rarely seen in formal portraits of the era. Winston Churchill holds a Thompson submachine gun and smokes a cigar in 1940. The photograph projects a defiant image of the British leader amid the context of World War II. A portrait of a young woman in Deadwood, South Dakota, in 1875. The town, known for its ties to the Wild West, was a bustling hub during the region's gold rush. A grocery store clerk works in Tallahassee, Florida, in 1962. With a classic cash register, the scene reflects the daily life of stores at the time and the evolution of retail over the years. Heavy traffic marks the opening of the Southwest Expressway, now the Stevenson Expressway, in 1964. The image suggests that traffic jams were already a challenge on major highways at the time. A zebra-drawn carriage is used for transportation in Calcutta, India, in the 1930s. This unusual mode of travel stood out in an era of contrasts between tradition and modernity. Miss America 1924 poses for a portrait. In the early years of the competition, natural beauty and elegance were the main criteria for selecting the winner. A couple dances swing in the 1940s in a performance full of energy. The vibrant rhythm and acrobatic moves made the style one of the most popular of the era. Charlie Chaplin and Anna Pavlova posed together in 1922. The meeting between the legendary actor and the renowned Russian ballerina represents the union of two artistic icons. A woman gazes at a giant cedar tree in Stanley Park, Vancouver, in 1897. The region's majestic trees are symbols of the temperate forest, some living for centuries and reaching impressive heights. A man searches for books in the enormous main library of Cincinnati, demolished in 1955. The grand structure and its towering shelves were a true temple of knowledge. 4 Dutch boys pose with wooden clogs in 1900. The traditional footwear was widely used by workers and children due to its durability and protection. Illustration of a monorail crossing the English Channel, inspired by H.G. Wells' The War in the Air, 1908. The science fiction of the time envisioned bold advances in transportation. Robin Williams dressed as a cheerleader in 1980. The actor, known for his irreverent humor, took part in sporting events with his unforgettable antics. Wrestler Spars trains with a wooden dummy called Sandostein, designed with springs and braces for resistance, in February 1937. The equipment helped simulate real opponents. Beer barrels stacked at Guinness Brewery in Dublin, Ireland, around 1910, showing the importance of beer production to the city's economy and highlighting Dublin's historical brewing tradition. A construction worker dangles from a crane while working on the Empire State Building, New York, in 1930. The workers' daring efforts were crucial in building the iconic skyscraper. A boy smiles as he receives a new pair of shoes at an orphanage in Austria in 1946. His joyful expression reflects hope and gratitude in the difficult post-war period. Children are taken to school on a dog-pulled sled in New York, 1947. The heavy snowfall transformed the city, requiring alternative methods for commuting on snow-covered streets. Teenage boys use a blanket to toss their friend, Norma Baker, into the air at Hermosa Beach, California, in 1948. Photo by John Florea for Life magazine. The scene captures the light-hearted spirit and energy of youth after World War II. A woman examining the new security feature in her car, the seatbelt from the 1950s. The innovation has saved millions of lives since then. The Noonan family takes a drive with their children in Massachusetts in the 1920s. Open-top cars were a novelty, offering families a sense of freedom and adventure. A woman biker in full gear with her motorcycle, photographed in the 1920s. Defying societal norms of the time, she represents independence and a passion for motorcycling. Female riders helped pave the way for inclusion in both sports and automotive culture. At Gorky Park in Moscow, visitors experience the Flying People Ride in 1937. The attraction featured 6 swings with 180-degree arch flights, creating a flying sensation. The image captures a rare moment from the Soviet era. Lou Ferrigno as Sinbad in Sinbad of the Seven Seas, 1989. Known for his impressive physique, he brought strength and charisma to the role of the legendary sailor. The film was one of the many adventures in his career after playing the Incredible Hulk. Log trucks in North Bend, Washington, 1943. The image captures the strength of the U.S. timber industry during World War II. Logging was essential for construction and supplies, driving the nation's economy. Retro kitchen design featuring a combined sink, stove, and fridge. This compact solution was common in small apartments during the mid-20th century. The Beach Boys pose with Santa in December 1963. During a festive photo session, the band showcases the holiday spirit while at the peak of their career with hits that shaped American music. The image reflects the excitement of the time. A Sami couple photographed in 1870 offers a glimpse into tradition and culture. Wearing traditional clothing, they represent an indigenous people from Northern Europe, known for their connection to nature and reindeer herding. The image preserves a moment of Sami heritage. Cameron Diaz in the 1990s. a rising star. With her charisma and talent, she took Hollywood by storm, starring in blockbuster films. Her striking presence and style defined a generation, making her one of the most recognizable faces in cinema at the time. A Man Cares for His Wife's Feet in Greenland, 1890s. The photograph by Robert E. Peary captures an intimate moment in the extreme cold. The couple, likely from an Inuit community, reflects the importance of care and partnership in surviving the harsh environment. A family enjoys summer in a Fiat 500 in Italy, 1967. The compact car, a symbol of mobility at the time, carries parents and children on a sunny trip. The photo conveys the spirit of Italian roads and the simplicity of family vacations. You know that iconic photo of construction workers having lunch on the unfinished Empire State Building? Well, here's photographer Charles Ebbets capturing the moment. September 20th, 1932. The famous image shows workers balanced on beams at great heights, illustrating the risk and bravery in skyscraper construction. London Nomads in 1877, photographed by John Thompson. These groups traveled with adapted wagons, living off seasonal work while preserving ancestral traditions. Pumping fuel in 1974 with the price at just 48 cents per gallon. During the oil crisis, prices began to rise quickly, but were still low compared to today. Refueling was a routine part of American life on the highways. Getting ready for a photo session at Venice Beach, California, 1927. Models and photographers adjust poses and lighting to capture the vibrant spirit of the time. The beach was already an iconic setting for culture and fashion in the United States. In 1930, a zookeeper showers penguins with water from a watering can. The unusual scene shows the care given to captive birds. Before modern facilities, simple methods were used to mimic the animal's natural environment.